Hello, this is Brian again. Welcome to part 3. The brush is a little lower here. Very grateful for that. I definitely don't recommend coming up the way I did. Hopefully on the top I'll get a view, an appreciable enough view to plot a return, a descent back to the trailhead or whatever. That was pretty intense. Alright, well, almost the top is something here. I'm thinking this is going to be it. Yeah, I think Garnet benchmark is that one there. Oh boy, I almost turned around. That was pretty gnarly. Alright. This has got to be it. Garnet Mountain. Time to point out some views. My place is down because of the water. Okay, so sorry for the wind noise. Starting north. North Mountains is really far away. South Mountains, San Bernardino Mountains, Vulcan Mountains. That should be Garnet benchmark right there. North Peak, Middle Peak, Stonewall Peak, Kwaaymii Peak, the Ahos Mountain. Way off in the distance in the haze is San Miguel Mountain. Garnet Mountain. That's Garnet Peak. There's a difference. Now I'm going to go try to find a large enough rock so I can sit down and get something to drink. It's not a steep hike. Slope-wise, it's an easy walk. When we're talking about slope, it's just kind of a insane cross-country chaparral wade, because you're going to be wading waist and sometimes elbow high in chaparral. So in that sense, it's not a very easy hike. I can see Kwaaymii Point where I parked. That little piece of pavement down there is where I was parked. Where I'm parked down there. I'm gonna try to see if I can find a more direct route to get down there, because there's no trail. Some areas look like there's a use trail, but I don't think it's an actual use trail. I just think it's the space between the shrubs that makes the appearance. Hold on just a minute here and get a short view out over the chaparral there while I get this water opened. Oh boy, forgive me there. Just had to get this water bottle open. As you can tell, despite the relatively short distance of this hike, at least, I don't know, maybe there is an easier way up here. But if there is, I must have missed it. But I made it up here, obviously. Garnet Mountain. Yeah, definitely. When you're on the PCT, it's almost completely level. It's almost a completely level walk. And then when you start climbing up the hill, when you break trail and come up the hill, again, it's not steep. It's very gentle slopes. It's just, you gotta watch where you step. And that's why I kind of bursted out. Unfortunately, in the last clip, I bursted out the D word. And that's as far as I'm willing to go with language on these videos. I normally don't even like to say that, so I apologize if some of you might be a little more language conscientious. Wasn't my intention, but that fall kind of startled me. I really slept, and it doesn't hurt or anything. It's like those hikes on Mission Trails, only this time a little scrape on my elbow, but I'm not worried about it. It's nothing that's gonna cause me any panic. But yeah, you get some good views towards the inner Laguna mountains over here, towards the southern part of the lagoon. You get some pretty good views, and so you get some pretty nice views up here. I would say Garnet Peak, Monument Peak, and Hayes Peak, I think, even have more dramatic views because their peaks are a little pointier. But like I see up here too, it's pretty beautiful. I mean, if you can find a better way than me, do it. See, I'm not really high tech. I don't plan out GPS routes. I don't even have a phone to do that with. Just look at the Earth, plan it out, read Peakbagger information about it, and I try to make an educated guess. If it comes to something overwhelming, then like I get myself off track before I get myself in real trouble, back out and do more research the next time. The only real big hiking mistake I've made was bailing out and trying to hike to Occidental Peak near Mount Wilson back in 2018. That was a big mistake on my part, but you know, I'm trying to be careful. I'm definitely trying not to exceed my limitations. You know, at times I try to broaden my limitations, expand them, but sometimes you have to go a little bit, but you don't want to overdo it. So, this is it, Garnet Mountain. That point over there looks pretty close to the same elevation, but yeah, I think that's supposed to be Garnet benchmark. I mean, from here it looks pretty close to the same elevation. I'm not gonna worry about it. I'm definitely not gonna go try to bushwhack my way over there. I just don't think that would be a wise idea. That looks like the same type of terrain. Maybe just some passageways through the bushes. Well, I think I see something that might be promising over here on my descent. I think I see a fire break. I bet you that's the way the Peakbaggers come up. Peakbagger users probably come up that. So I'm going to follow that on the way down. I just need to get my way to it. And, you know, I'm looking at it saying it's not that far away. But in chaparral, cross-country chaparral hiking, ooh, a coast horned lizard. Ooh. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Oh, look at that. It's beautiful. I think that's a color's kind of rusty colored for what I've usually seen on a Phrenosoma blainvillei. Look at that little beautiful guy. Wow. I think that's a Blainville horned lizard. Absolutely gorgeous little guy. Alright. That made it even more worth it coming up here. Okay. Wow, I think that's a Blainville horned lizard. I'm pretty sure those are the ones found up here. Coast or Blainville are used interchangeably. Used to be Blainville, well, Phrenosoma blainvillei used to be known as Phrenosoma coronatum, but somebody changed the taxonomy on that lizard species. As a relative of the fence lizards and spiny lizards, the genus Sceloporus, and a relative related to the side-blotched lizard genus, the western side-blotched lizard. So that's pretty cool. Got to see a horned lizard up here. Don't come across those very often. When I was a kid, I never saw one once. As a kid, never ever saw one once. Then I moved to Orange County, never saw one there. Moved to New Jersey, which doesn't have horned lizards. Moved back, and now I've seen a few of them. Ever since 2016, I've been seeing them here and there. So it's always nice to see something like that. I don't know how well it's going to capture on camera, but pretty sure it's partially visible. Of course, they'd be up here. They're the native black ants. I think they're harvester ants, I think. I'm not sure. And these native ants here, I'm not sure if that's a Pagano-Myrmex. I'm not sure if that's a harvester ant. Not very into my entomology. But it's a native ant. And that's what the Phrenosoma lizards, horned lizards, they rely on these ants. These native ants, they rely on them. They will not touch Argentine ants. Especially in the coastal lowlands of Southern California, they will not touch the Argentine ants. They do not like to eat those. But these ants right here are the native ants, and these are the ones in their diet. Wherever Argentine ants drive out the native species of ants. So what happens is the horned lizard loses its food source, thus is extirpated wherever Argentine ants establish themselves. Because they're supposed to be extremely invasive and aggressive invaders. So that's one thing to keep your mind on. Where I live in the coastal lowlands, we have Argentine ants. They're very common, especially in the suburbs. They tend to like it better where there's water, where there is access to water, like around homes. So, and a lot of development has also reduced the harvester and other native ants' habitats. Also, going up the food chain towards the horned lizards. So, that's just something else to be aware of. It's pretty sad, but it's always nice to see different types of reptiles. I love herpes, reptiles, and amphibians, and I love seeing them. Well, now I'm gonna just take a summit selfie or whatever, and I'm just gonna start trying to wiggle my way down to that. So. Maybe I will update. If I can safely make it down there, and it's a good way to get back, I'll update you. Because that might be a good way to come up in the future. I'll see you on the next clip.